The government of Canada is confiscating 2 million guns at the exact same time as they are inviting thousands of foreign mercenaries into the country. If you cannot see what is happening in Canada, you are absolutely blind. We are already well down the path to tyranny. We have a WEF Davos stooge installed as our prime minister. The man was not elected. He was installed as our prime minister. He is now overseeing the largest gun confiscation in Western history, while at the same time expediting visas for thousands of foreign mercenaries to come into the country. Whether we're talking Franco, Mussolini, Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, the exact same story every single time. You bring foreign mercenaries in because they're the ones who are willing to bring violence to your population. Well, you take all the guns from your law-abiding citizens who are going to need them in order to stand up. I'm so proud of the fact that 1.95 million of the 2 million gun grab guns have not been turned in. The government of Canada has already wasted $1 billion to confiscate 50,000 guns. It works out to about $29,000 per fire. Mark Carney, the globalist creep who had never held any elected office whatsoever, has spent his entire life in service of bootlicking the wealthiest corporate shills in the world. Brookfield Asset Management, Goldman Sachs, the architects of the 2008 financial crisis. This soulless ghoul is now attempting to turn Canada into a slave state. This is the same man who, post-Freedom Convoy, wrote that everybody who attended, everybody who donated $5, $10, was a seditionist and a terrorist. That's right. Mark Carney is one of these guys that believes that if you don't go along with exactly what daddy government tells you to do, what Mark Carney, this ghoul, tells you to do, you should be jailed. You're a seditionist, you're a traitor, you're a terrorist. After forcing millions of Canadians to get injected with an experimental vaccine and 2 years of lockdown, where in many areas of the country, it was illegal to be outside after 8 p.m. Mark Carney said, no, that's not enough. We need to throw people in jail, freeze their bank account for donating $5, for donating $10 to the Freedom Convoy. That is what this man believes in. He is a blatantly, nakedly obvious tyrant. It could not be any clearer exactly what he's attempting to do to the country, and that is to disarm the Canadian population so that the Liberal Party of Canada's word goes no matter what, no matter how obscene the rules, whether it be the Freedom Convoy, the invocation of the Emergencies Act after the Freedom Convoy being deemed illegal, whether it be out in Nova Scotia, they just deemed illegal the ban to go into the forest, whether it be laws simply not applying to new arrivals to this country, a government that hates its own people. We have 153,000, at least, fraudulent visa holders in the country. They're doing nothing to remove them. They are literally replacing the Canadian population with a more subservient group. Aristotle said that the tyrant always prefers the company of foreigners to their native people. We are seeing that play out on a massive scale in Canada, and I can only imagine what is coming down the pipe. Mark Carney, every sixth sentence out of his mouth is, we are in a more dangerous and divided world. We are in a more dangerous and divided world. Well, yeah, that's because of weak, pathetic men like you. But I can only imagine what is coming down the pipe. If they're able to confiscate all these legally purchased firearms from Canadian citizens, in addition to having thousands, they are now bragging, they are touting the expedited visas, the Indians, the Chinese coming into Canada to join our military, because they know Canadian people will not turn their weapons on fellow Canadians. This is why they always recruit foreigners. So they're going out of their way after they've invited in, against the will of the Canadian people, about 7.5 million people in the past decade. The immigration is out of control, against the will of the Canadian people. We don't want it. The unemployment rate among youth is 14.1%, and the Canada Jobs program just rolled out. Every single goddamn job gives advantage to everybody but a white person. We have an out-and-out racist government, a government that hates white people, hates Canadians. I don't know whoever hurt Mark Carney, but You don't get to take it out on Canadians, you weak, pathetic creep. This man was so-called elected with less than 1/3% of Canadians voting in the Liberal leadership race. 1/3% after government had been prorogued for 10 months. For 10 months. Nobody in government, because Trudeau, the system in Canada is so screwed up, so broken. We don't have a two-party system. We have Liberal rule. They can break the rules whenever they want. As I stated, for the third time, Mark Carney is challenging the Freedom Convoy all the way up to the Supreme Court. They have deemed it 3 times illegal. Federal courts have deemed the invocation of the Emergencies Act to be illegal. Nobody's paid any price. These creeps stomp all over the law, stomp all over the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and nobody pays any price. It's hilarious seeing Carney out there talking about, oh, I want to protect the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. This man called everybody who has donated $5 or $10 to the Freedom Convoy a seditionist or a terrorist. Get out of here. We cannot allow them to confiscate all of our weapons, while at the same time having foreign mercenaries come in, where with Bill C9, you're going to start getting knocks on your door if you post on social media things that the government doesn't like. We already have Bill C11. We have these extreme bills that give the government massive control over what you are and are not allowed to see online. This is how totalitarians run. They don't want free flow of information. The Liberal Party of Canada, because too many people will be awake to what a disaster 11 years of Liberal rule has been. They want to be able to tell you what you are and aren't allowed to consume, what type of content, what you are and aren't allowed to think, what you are and are not allowed to feel, because Mark Carney knows best. The man who spent his entire career licking the asses of the wealthiest $1 trillion asset management fund. Yeah, go fuck yourself. This guy's... Canadians don't give a shit what Mark Carney thinks. Mr. Burns, if Mr. Burns was a burn victim, is more like it. I'm going to be on YouTube tonight at 7 o'clock discussing this further. If you'd like to read more about this disgusting gun confiscation at the exact same time as they're bringing in thousands of foreign mercenaries, check out my Substack, links below. Really appreciate everybody who gets a paid subscription. If you'd like to support, you can hit the Stripe link. But they think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. Time and time and time again, tyrants have disarmed their population while at the same time bringing foreign mercenaries in. This is not, they're not reinventing the wheel here. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. They're not reinventing the wheel here. We've seen these types of tactics from far left kooks time and time again. And they think Canadians are blind to it, blind to the fact that they're confiscating these millions of legally purchased firearms that account for less than 5% of gun violence in this country, while at the same time bringing foreign mercenaries in. We know exactly what you're doing. You creep. Canada are a free people, and we sure as hell are not going to have our freedoms destroyed by a WF Davos weak little clown.